Welcome back to Fireside Bourbon, and today we are going to do a cigar review on the Cohiba Nicaragua. This is a 5x52 Robusto. It is got a Honduran Hamastron Colorado Oscuro wrapper. It is Nicaraguan binder, and it is a Nicaraguan filler. So it's known as a puro because of the blends of the Nicaraguan tobaccos coming from Esteli and Jalapa. So this will lend us a flavor profile that is very balanced, very flavorful because of it. It's a beautiful wrapper. It's very veiny. It does have a little tear at the foot there. It's a slight one. We've done a V cut on it, and we're going to get into it. On the nose, we're getting a lot of cedar and leather coming off. Maybe a hint of a sweet, maybe a sweet cacao note coming off of there. Cold draw here. Cold draw isn't changing much up. I'm still getting a little sweet cacao. Getting a little cedar. A little earthy. Got a little tear at the head of it too. So on the light up, it's got a pretty easy draw. Very smooth. But it burns a little bit like it's wanting to go out right away, which kind of shocks me because it's got some decent heat to it. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But anyway, these are coming in around $12 or so for one of these Robustos here, 5x52. It's a very full, rich cedar. Some coffee notes coming through, a coffee bean. Just that hint of sweetness is there on the back of the palate right now. So it is definitely showing up. There's also a hint of spice popping through. That's real nice. So far, I'm extremely disappointed in the construction. The foot is just tearing real bad. I've already had to do a light or a touch up around it. It's separating almost like it's dry, but it don't feel dry at all. But it must have some dryness to it. But the wrapper is wanting to tear and come off just from lip contact. And it's not even lip because that's totally dry there. So I'm not real impressed with that so far. Let's see what we get as we get into it a little further and this get toward that second, third. Okay, so I'd like to give great information on this. I want to just be in love with this one, honestly, because Cohiba is a great brand. And I do enjoy the notes. The notes are wonderful on it so far. We are definitely starting to get into the second, third, but we are having major issues here. You can see, I don't know if you can see down in the actual tunneling going on. It's just, the burn is absolutely horrible. And when I read about it, the burn on these are supposed to be dynamic. I'm very disappointed in that. Again, I think it's dry. I don't know why. It's seasoned in my humidor. It felt great, but it's just not doing great. So I don't know what's causing it right now. I did do a V cut, like I said originally, but I am going to have to do some major work on this thing. The ash seems to be very flaky on it. I read that it's a very white ash. I do have some white ash going on, but I've got a lot of dark, just flaky, nasty ash taking place there. I am trying to pair this with a medium roast because it was a medium to full body. I know it's moderately stronger, and it definitely is, but it's still quite medium on the draws. But it does have some strong, wonderful, strong notes. You know, very rich profile on that. I can't complain about that. I'm just very disappointed in this construction, which is definitely lowering my review of it at this point. So we have straightened that up some. There's still quite a bit of good tobacco in there that's holding on. I didn't expect that, honestly. I figured it was really in bad shape. But I am seeing more cracking around it. Well, get it. There you go. The wrapper is just cracking horribly as it burns. Again, don't feel dry, but It presents to be dry, so it must be. It's just weird. I think it's a wrapper problem. I really do. I don't think it's really a full tobacco problem. I think there's probably some problems with the way it was rolled. Maybe didn't get the TLC it needed. Okay, we're halfway through. I've had to do a total relight. Totally went out. You have to keep hitting this every probably 30 seconds to a minute to keep this thing burning at all correctly. It did straighten up a little from the relight. I don't know how long that'll last because it just won't stay there. But the construction is just absolute shit on this cigar. This wrapper just sucks. I don't know what's wrong with the wrapper, but it's garbage. It is garbage. I can tell you right now, I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 5 on the construction. The construction sucks. The burn, it's gonna get a 2 out of 5. It's horrible. I hate that for a Cohiba. I'm very disappointed. They put out a Weller infused cigar, and that I am very impressed with, and I am very disappointed with this one here. That for $12 to $16 is what it ranges. That's horrible. Also, the cap, it's all coming apart. I keep trying to wet it down and keep it together. The head is just coming apart. So you can see at least the wrapper part of it, very poorly constructed. The binder and filler, the way it's burning, the way it's keeps splitting out, even in the binder, it's splitting out. It's a very disappointing construction. Very disappointing. Okay, so I finished that Cohiba Nicaragua. I didn't do a final third. The notes stayed the same. There's no reason to do it. The construction was just horrible. I mean, I relit nonstop. It kept tunneling. It was canoeing. It was flaring. It's just the binder was ripping. The wrapper definitely ripped off. Lost the cap. Lost the head of it. I mean, it's just garbage. So our review on a rating on that is definitely not good because I got to give so low on so many of the factors that I take into account. Like I said, I did buy 2 when I bought that. Problem is they're from the same box, so I'm going to see what that is. Those things run 12 to 16. The Cohiba, the Wellers, they run up to around $24. I would have expected this to be much better because of that, and I've had other Cohibas I like, so I don't know. I don't understand it. But anyway, so here we are. We're going to give that a 6 out of 10 sticks. And I'm being generous mainly because the flavor profile was dynamic. The draw was really good. And had a great retrohale. Notes stayed consistent. It was consistent. It was very balanced. It was definitely a medium to full-bodied cigar. It did increase to the full strength there at the very end. But it was just construction. I just couldn't get past. When it's that bad, I just can't get past it. And that's probably one of the worst I've had in a long time. So I'm being very generous. 6 out of 10 sticks. Right now, I'm here looking for a very good medium to full body Nicaraguan cigar.